A normal Tuesday night turned into 10 of the scariest minutes of a mother's life, all because of a garage door that was supposed to stop the moment it touched something. This is the true story of Sarah and her son Ethan, and honestly, subscribe right now, because the ending of this one is going to make you go check something in your own house. This happened about 6 months ago in a quiet suburban neighborhood. Sarah was a 34-year-old single mom who worked long shifts as a nurse, and her son Ethan was 8 years old, a curious, energetic kid who loved Roblox almost as much as he loved playing outside. Sarah worked hard, but whenever she was home, she made it a point to give Ethan her full attention. No phone, no distractions, just the two of them. That Tuesday, Ethan had finished all of his homework early and even helped Sarah fold laundry without being asked, which was rare enough that Sarah decided to reward him with something he had been begging for all week, enough Robux to finally buy the pet he wanted in his favorite Roblox game. Ethan was thrilled, practically vibrating with excitement while they waited for dinner to finish cooking. After dinner, while the Robux purchase was still processing, Ethan asked Sarah if they could play hide and seek before his bedtime, one of their favorite games together. Sarah agreed, and Ethan immediately took off running through the house, giggling, looking for the perfect hiding spot. Sarah counted slowly by the stairs, calling out numbers, letting him get a good head start. Ethan ran through the kitchen, down the hallway, and out into the attached garage, a place they did not usually count as part of the game, but the garage door happened to be halfway open from earlier that evening when Sarah had brought in groceries, and Ethan spotted what looked like the perfect hiding spot, a gap right behind some stacked storage bins near the garage door track. Sarah finished counting and started searching room by room, calling out playfully, "Where could Ethan be hiding this time?" She checked his usual spots first, behind the couch, inside the closet, under his bed, but he was nowhere to be found. A small flicker of worry started creeping in, mixed with the fun of the game, as she made her way toward the kitchen and noticed the door to the garage slightly ajar. She stepped into the garage just as Ethan, hearing her getting close, decided to duck lower behind the storage bins, right underneath the track of the garage door itself, trying to stay hidden a little longer. Sarah, not realizing exactly where he was crouched, walked further into the garage and accidentally brushed against the wall-mounted control panel near the door, the same panel used to open and close the garage door from inside the house. The garage door, which had been sitting halfway open, started moving downward. Sarah did not immediately realize what had happened, still focused on searching for Ethan, calling his name playfully. It was only when she heard a small, startled gasp from behind the storage bins that her stomach dropped. She rushed over just in time to see Ethan trying to scramble out from his hiding spot, the heavy door lowering steadily toward the track he was crouched beside. This particular garage door had an automatic safety sensor, a feature required by law in most homes specifically designed to detect any obstruction and immediately reverse the door before it could make contact with a person or object. Sarah had always assumed it worked perfectly, the same way most people assume things like that just work, without ever actually testing them. But that sensor had a thin layer of dust and cobwebs built up over its lens from months of sitting untouched in the corner of the garage, something neither Sarah nor anyone else had ever thought to check or clean. As the door came down, it brushed against one of the storage bins Ethan had been hiding behind, nudging it slightly into his shoulder, and Ethan, startled, stumbled and lost his balance, falling partially into the path of the closing door. The sensor, its lens partially blocked by dust, did not fully register the obstruction in time. The door kept lowering. Sarah screamed Ethan's name and lunged forward, throwing herself toward the control panel to hit the button again, desperately hoping it would reverse the door's direction. For a horrifying second, nothing happened, the door continuing to press downward. Ethan cried out, pinned partially beneath the weight of the lowering door, unable to pull himself free fast enough. Sarah grabbed the bottom edge of the door with both hands, using every bit of strength she had to physically hold it up, screaming for help at the top of her lungs. Her neighbor from next door, out walking his dog, heard the screaming through the open garage and came sprinting over immediately. Together, they managed to lift the door enough for Ethan to pull himself free, coughing and crying, badly shaken but conscious. The neighbor called emergency services right away while Sarah held Ethan close, checking him over frantically for injuries. Paramedics arrived within minutes and examined Ethan on the spot. He had a nasty bruise across his shoulder and back where the door had pressed against him, along with a small cut from the storage bin, but thankfully, nothing broken, no serious internal injuries. The paramedic said that if the door had come down even a few more seconds without anyone noticing, the outcome could have been far more serious, given how much weight a standard garage door carries. At the hospital, doctors confirmed Ethan would recover fully, just some soreness and bruising that would fade over the following weeks. Sarah, on the other hand, could not stop shaking for hours afterward, replaying those 10 seconds over and over in her mind. How close it had come to being so much worse. When they got home the next day, the first thing Sarah did, even before unpacking Ethan's hospital paperwork, was clean off the safety sensor lens with a soft cloth and test it herself, holding a broom handle in the door's path to make sure it actually stopped and reversed like it was supposed to. It worked perfectly once the dust was gone, which made the whole situation even harder for Sarah to process, knowing that something so small, a little bit of built-up dust nobody ever thought to wipe away, had almost changed everything. Ethan is doing great today, back to his usual energetic self, Roblox pet and all. He still loves hide and seek, but these days, the garage is permanently off limits as a hiding spot. No exceptions. Sarah also makes it a habit now to test that sensor every single month, along with checking a few other things around the house she had always just assumed were working fine. So that is the story of Sarah and Ethan and the 10 seconds that almost changed everything. If this one had your heart racing, do me a favor, smash that like button, subscribe if you have not already, and turn on the notification bell so you never miss the next story, because trust me, there are way more of these coming. Let me know in the comments, have you ever actually tested your garage door's safety sensor, or are you going to go check it right after this video? Stay safe out there, and I will see you in the next one.